Good morning to you all. I know I said I was going to put up an American phone, 500 type, with an unusual innards, but it hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully it's going to arrive, but I don't know. I've got my doubts. The package wasn't even tracked, so I just don't know. I'm hoping it might arrive on my doorstep tomorrow morning. But anyhow, in the meantime, I thought I'd pop you up this one. This, as you can see, looks like a 746. Okay, it's obviously based on the 746, but you won't see the number 746 on it anywhere. What you will see, and I turn it over, excuse me getting into a bit of a mess. I always get a mess when I do this. Let's turn that light off, see that? Maybe I'll try it now. There's the underside of the phone. It's a metal base. One thing is slightly different. You've got an adjuster there for a low bell and a high bell. You've got some writing on there as well. Don't ask me what it says. It's Israeli. I know I've got it round the right way because the 1977 is up the right way. I don't know whether they read from left to right or right to left. Not too sure. But I've definitely got this round the right way. So we can see this phone was supplied to the phone service in Israel. Turning the mechanism back, looking at it, it looks very, very similar innards to a 746. But obviously, in all intents and purposes, it is a 746. But there's one little subtle difference. We have a little look down there, if I can find it right. Where is it? I can't find it. I'll find it in a minute. Here we are. Found it. There is, if I can point to it with my pointer, a built-in, wide-in thermistor. Now these were used over here on party lines or shared service as they like to be called. So this phone has obviously got it built in, and I believe the same case goes for the 706 version of the Israeli phone. But that's the main difference on this board. The rest of it I think is more or less the same. You've got your two little ballast bulbs in this compartment here. They're all part of the regulator, and next to it you have the part which contains rectifiers and that, which is normally what you would see in a normal regulator type arrangement. These were made HVA, which I believe is Hyvac. They're a lamp manufacturer in Bury St Edmunds in England. Hyvac. And the rectifier is STX, which I think is STC. While talking about different makers, I've had a look at the transmitter and receiver. The transmitter is made by GEC, dated 1977, which incidentally is obviously the age of this phone. The receiver, which is the rocking type, and my pussycats meowing like normal, is STC. I'm afraid you're going to have to wait. Go, you settle down. My pussycat doesn't like this hot weather. I must admit it's getting me down a bit. Anyhow, that is the parts associated with it. As I said, the ringer, a twin coil, which looks the same as the GPO version, but it's on a different arrangement. It's lifted slightly up. It's lifted up so that the little adjuster has a little lug down there. There's my pointer. And a little lug down there which reduces the sound. It restricts the actual striking of the hammer. The two bells are not numbered, which is unlike the English versions. There's no numbers on the bell. I'm assuming they're both different tone. Yeah, they sound different. So it looks like they are two tones to the bell, but there's no number. So that part is different. The bass, as I say, it's got a nice finish, a nice sort of a goldy type of finish. It's not gold, but it looks like it is, but it isn't. The rest of it, as I say, your connections and that appear to be wired the same way round. The cables and that are exactly the same as the BT version. Everything else is, as I say, as BT. The dial, which I think was possibly made in Israel, is exactly the same, well made. Turning round is just numbers. The motif in the middle is the motif used in Israel. And once again, it's got the writing there and the telephone number when this phone was actually used. I think that's more or less all I've got to say about the innards. There's a trademark in there which appears on various other parts, which is obviously the Israeli company that made it or had it made up. The back of the case shows the same trademark as on the dial. I'll have a little look inside the case. There's that good old diagram. Now I've got to make sure I show you this round the right way, which I had it the first time round the right way. Always go by the numbers. If the numbers make sense up the right way, that's the way round it goes, because the lettering is totally different. Well, there's your diagram. No name who made this telephone. It's obviously a well laid out diagram. I'm just seeing if the thermistor is shown on here. It's definitely on the board, regulator. There it is, on the bell circuit. If I can find it again. I lost it. Where was it? There's the bell circuit, and there's the thermistor. So the reason I got this on this phone, obviously probably nothing to do with shared service, but it would reduce or stop bell tinkling, because you'd have to build up sufficient voltage to operate the bell as it goes through the thermistor. which is simply a little bead of carbon. Anyhow, that's the thermistor. It also shows the type of plug that would have been on there. I think these use the German type of plug, but someone will probably correct me on this. An unusual plug, although this one just shows it ending in 2 wires. 2 wires, yeah, 2 wires. I don't know why it's been cut off. They look like the other wires have been cut off, but it's got the green and white for your 2 line cords. That, I think, is more or less all I've got to say about this phone. As I say, hopefully this phone that I'm expecting through eBay should arrive tomorrow. Let's hope it does. It's quite an interesting one. Once again, same type of screw holds the case on. It's captive. This is slightly different. It's not captive with like a nut. The actual case makes it captive. So that is slightly different. And also the shape of the screw head is different. But it's, as I say, it's basically the same thing. I'm just trying to see if there's anything written on the case. I can't see anything. Whether this case would have been made in England, once again, I don't know. I've got an idea it was probably made in Israel, as I think these phones would probably have the bits supplied and they were assembled in Israel with the odd part made in Israel. Anyhow, that is all I've got to say concerning this phone. Any questions, please ask. I can't think of anything else, but it's obviously based on the 746, and it's the type with the moderner form with the dip. I think it is called Type 2. Don't ask me with blinking numbers. I'm number blind. I know that's the case which they adopted after the first ones tended to be not a very good design. Anyhow, that is all I'm going to say. Thanks again for watching. Just wondering what the weather's going to be at the moment. It's still quite bright and very hot and humid. So this is why I'm probably found this to give a little talk. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Just recapping, it's a 1977 746 type phone used in Israel, but the components inside tend to be British made. And yeah, that is all. Pretty sure that's all. Yep. Thanks again for watching. Thank you.